All right, I thought today was a good work day. Just a normal Tuesday practice for us. It was good to let the guys have another day. With Saturday being off, and then coming back with Monday. I thought that really helped them. Guys are doing a good job getting treatments. Continuing to take care of their bodies. Had some guys that were limited today, but some guys even got more work than what I thought they would. They're coming out of the weekend, so continuing to progress. When it comes to that, Tuesday, first day of heavy emphasis of Boston College, so some different looks. Things that we're trying to prepare for, but I thought the guys had a pretty good mindset throughout the course of the day. Some good competitive drills back and forth, and ultimately we just got to continue to grow and build upon that as we go through this week. But all in all, I thought it was good work.
How did they get back in a rhythm like Tuesday is actually Tuesday and Wednesday is actually Wednesday?
I'm looking forward to it, and it's it's been, and that's really part of this week is getting us prepared for what that's going to be as we're rolling through, and that's part of the reason giving them off Saturday. We had technically a short week, but after a bye, but trying to get them on that sequence of what to expect as the season continues to go on, and it'll be good for their bodies and all the things. We've been in a couple of really physical games, but it's definitely good for guys to get in their own sequence.
I know I asked you yesterday how Tate has kind of progressed with having that confidence under his belt, but now with the full practice, I guess, what did you see from him coming back?
He's continuing to push himself. And that's one of the things that allows guys opportunities to go and play well is when you put it in practice and you have the best opportunity for it to show up in games. It doesn't always, like I said, maybe after the game, but hard work doesn't guarantee success, but it does put you in position. And I think that's what Tate was able to, why he was able to bounce back from even some tough first plays in the game the other day. It's just just trust your training, and he comes out to work. He really is very cerebral in what he does. He's a gifted player in the skills that he has. But I thought he had a good day today, located the ball well, and just continued to push to get better.
The way he played Friday, the way he'll practice this week, will that affect the way you'll evaluate Jordan?
So I guess
the way that Tate played Friday and showed you his ability, and the way he'll practice this week, will that affect the way you evaluate Jordan?
Jordan was evaluate Jordan on how Jordan's doing. So Jordan is, as the week progresses, if he's prepared to play, he's going to play.
I know you're kind of unsure about who will be at quarterback. Do you have to prepare Tate any differently for how a team might prepare game plan for him coming into a game?
Not really. It's about us, and so ultimately is 11 guys out there on the field. Tate has things that his strengths and things that we probably want to showcase, but that's every week. We were prepared if he won the game last week what we wanted that to look like and what it would be, and I thought that as he grows through every practice, that just continues to expand, and there's nothing that Tate can't do that we do offensively, and I'm not in control of what anybody else is going to do to try to defend us, so we'll be able to respond and react to whatever we see.
Tate to Wilson looked strong on Friday, and then practice it's carried over. What's that connection look like to you?
It's just all those guys. It's about just the consistency of how they show up, and whether it's a first team, second team, whatever role you have. Going out there and putting your best foot forward, and that's how quarterbacks develop confidence with receivers, and then vice versa. It's about the quality of the work that's being done, and I think we're seeing the continued growth of that.
Is Johnny just seems like getting better and better? Is that confidence just keep building with him as well?
Yes, and confidence is one thing, but as I say pretty often, confidence comes through work, and he's getting better because he's working really hard, and he's coachable, and he wants to be great. There's plenty of people that say that. I've never been around a player that's just says they want to be average. They all say the same things. But whenever they show up and they're willing to make the investment to take the steps necessary to achieve at a great and high level, that's what I appreciate, and I think Johnny's embodied that since he's been here. There's been some good days, there's been some lessons he had to learn. All of it showed up, and he's just continuing to do what he does, and I thought today was another great example of it.
When something like that happens, it's not characteristic.
No, I mean, you got to go back and evaluate, well, why, the why did it happen? Was it a focus issue? Was it a communication issue? Technique, fundamentals? And in our case the other day, there was some communication and some focus issues of why that showed up. And so now it's our job to push that sense of urgency to make sure that when we're communicating with the intensity that you're going to face when you're in front of thousands of people, that all the distractions that are there, can you maintain the greatest focus on the slightest of details, whether it's a communication or whether it's where my eyes need to be, making sure that my reactions are on point, to the best of my ability. And so those are all things that you have to, as a coach, you always have to answer the why. No kid wants to go out there and screw up. No player ever wants to do that. No coach ever wants to make a bad call. But in those moments when things happen, why did that occur, and then what can you do to fix it? And to really challenge yourself to be able to apply it out here on the practice field so it doesn't show up the next time you're out there on the game field.
Coach Fuller was really complimentary of Brenden Gantt the other day. I guess what have you seen from him in terms of buying in and just accepting his role?
It's the same word, investment. I mean, he believes in what we do within this program, and he's come with a position change, to try to put him in the best position for him to showcase his talents. Him in special teams. I mean, he was phenomenal the other day. I mean, he made a couple plays that were game-changing plays, and just his coverage and what he does. But I mean, he is prepared for his opportunity, and whether it's on special teams, whether it's on defense, which I mean, he's got a great future. I mean, it's the absolute right move. You're starting to see those flashes. You're starting to see him play even faster. I can't wait to see what the final product of Brenden Gantt is going to be. But he also understands the process of it, and some guys get so caught up in just the moment and what feels good and what you think you ultimately are, and then they lose sight of the growth. And if something doesn't go their way, then they pull back. Brendan's just continuing to push forward, and that is from him. He's done that. We had very real conversations last spring, and I could not be prouder of a young man than I am with Brenden because of just his work ethic and investment.
Are any of the young defensive tackles, any of them you think maybe working themselves into the rotation where they can get on the field?
I think they're really close. I mean, Daniel Lyons he's doing a great job. I mean, he's going to be a heck of a football player here, and you see it. He's just it goes back to the experience of the reps and the details. I think Bishop Thomas is going to be a lot of fun to watch. He's got to continue to clean up some things, but I mean, you see an explosive mover that's really dynamic, and I think you've seen the growth. I mean, Josh Farmer. Malcolm Ray has done some wonderful things here in the last year, over the course of the last year. Jarrett's now has been thrust into a bigger role with Fabian not playing last week, and so you're seeing those guys that compete and challenge. But I'm excited about the group.
I don't think we.
After what you guys have been through the last 2 weeks, do you guard against an exhale at all? Come back home?
You guard against that daily, whether it's good or bad. It goes back to the objective. Today we got to be better, and it's not. It's repetitive, but it's what I believe, and it's what we believe as a program. And so you have to guard against it every day, because human nature wants to exhale. Whether you're 0-3 or whether you're 3-0, human mind wants to be comfortable, and you've got to be willing to make yourself uncomfortable for ultimately what you want. And I want to see this team play our best game. I want to see this team, go out there and have a great focus on communication, details, fundamentals. I want to go. I want. That's what I desire, and that's what these guys want. And it's good. I mean, after the game in the locker room, we're all excited we won. I mean, everybody is, and you celebrate that. You just too much work goes into it. But there's the balance of all right. What do we do to get better from that? Because that was not. There were areas in that game that showed up where it was uncharacteristic. There were some things that I believe that were much better than that showed up, and so now it's our job to get it fixed. And so this week we're going to play one of the best coached teams that's in this league. I've got the utmost respect for Coach Hafley and what he does, and you know, these guys have some talented playmakers. It is, you know, they are, I mean, defensively, you know, they do a great job with their scheme and what they do and how they attack. Got some really talented and experienced defensive backs, some guys up front that play so hard and physical and have playmaking ability. Offensively, you know, I mean, it's, you're going to see quarterback, receivers, I mean, running back, with all conference player last week. I mean, this is a group that is talented, but we got to go out there and we got to play our ball, and you know, those are the steps I want to see.
How would you assess?
All right, last one.
How would you assess how your cornerbacks have played through 3 games, and just what's kind of the key for them against a guy like Zay Flowers?
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's gonna. I think when you look at it, you know, Duke being injured, and you know, he was able to battle to be back for LSU, but I mean, you know, really very limited. They're here this last week. You know, Jerry Jones, I think, is continuing to get better. Had a really good fall camp. You know, and I see him taking positive steps. You know, and you know, as you look at, I think Renardo Green has played remarkable. I mean, he's done some great things throughout that. So, you know, I see the competition there. You got the guys like Azaria, you got Malik, you got Sam McCall. I mean, all guys that are continuing to work and push for opportunities. And then, you know, obviously the safeties and what they're doing. You know, it's just continuing to take those positive steps. And we're going to have our hands full here this week. But, you know, ultimately, if we go out there and stay true to the little things, I've got a lot of confidence in how we'll respond.
All right.